Spokane Storytime. Hey, is the reason that ash and maple have that big S curve because of this little pipe in the ground? Let's find out. So long before Spokane was ever built and it was all just this dry eastern Washington forest that we know of, there was a little area up here on the north side of Spokane that was special because it had a wetland and it had a little spring that provided fresh drinking water. In fact, it was one of the only potable sources of drinking water in the area. So when the Spokane tribe would travel from the confluence of the Little Spokane River down to Spokane Falls to go fishing, this was their primary camping spot. And this area was really diverse and rich with edible foods such as bitterroot, wild onion, and camas. So the Spokane tribe would invite other tribes from the region, such as the Coeur d'Alene tribe or all of the Plateau tribes, to come out here to this exact area and have seasonal harvest. So this area was known as Spring Hill or Lone Pine Spring, and then later got the name Gary Spring. And that's because when Chief Gary got back from Canada in the 1930s, one of the first things he did was set up Spokane's first school right here in this very spot. And so Chief Gary pretty much took it upon himself to build a longhouse right here with wood poles and reed mats, and he would teach by himself. He taught English, reading, writing, farming, and of course religion. But you know, that didn't last long. His teachings were pretty sporadic over a 10-year period, and he didn't have any help from any of the missionaries, and he got a lot of pushback from the tribe because they didn't really believe in what he was doing. And so by the 1950s, with all the other schools moving into the area, he started to shift his focus to diplomatic mediation and helping the Spokane tribe work out the treaties with the U.S. government. And there is a monument out here that talks about Chief Gary's school, but what it doesn't talk about is what happened to him in his later years. You see, he moved out to the Peone Prairie to be a peaceful farmer, but one weekend he went fishing down at Spokane Falls, and when he got back, some squatters seized his land, and since his land wasn't protected by treaty, the government didn't do anything for him, and that's how Chief Gary ended up homeless. And this site was shared with settlers pretty much all the way through the 1800s. You got to think it was the primary route to go from the Spokane House all the way to Spokane Falls. And in fact, that's how Indian Trail Road gets its name. And then a cattle rancher from Missouri showed up and he built a little slaughterhouse at the bottom of the hill here. And of course, he needed water for his operation. And so he installed a little pipe here to harness the water from the spring. And that guy's name was Dan Drumheller. And he must have been well liked because in 1891, he became the mayor of the city of Spokane Falls and later acquired the nickname Uncle Dan Drumheller. And that's how the Drumheller Springs got its name. Of course, the road follows the natural landscape, and I'm pretty sure Indian Trail bent up around Spring Hill long before cars existed. But luckily in 1968, the city obtained the property and it became a historical park. So it will now forever be part of Spokane's legacy. Now you know.